All right, Tim, let's talk practice plan. I mean, when a player, an elite player, high school, college, pro player, arrives at the park, whether it's game or practice, I mean, the first thing they want to do is, in their progression, I would think they would want to start on the tee to find their swing, gain control of their body. So what does an ideal practice plan look like, or maybe just the first core part of it, for a guy that gets to the park and now he's ready to go to work?
You know, I think the beginning you want to work on all different approaches, your pull approach, middle, and opposite field. So I think, you take 4 or 5 swings, middle approach, try and hit the ball right back up the middle. You're trying to develop some rhythm and see how the ball comes off the bat. Then I would go to pull approach. Make sure you got good direction, that you're not spinning off the ball. You get good flight to the pull side. And then opposite field. I like to finish opposite field because that helps me control my shoulder and control my head and have good direction with the ball in the outer half. So I think that's the core. Working on those things and kind of the staple of hitting off a tee.
All right, well, before we go into like the big three, as you're doing those, anything as far as the pace of your swing, the energy that's going into your swing? Because I see my high school guys, they get on a tee and the first swing they take, it looks like it's a bench pressing contest. They're going to swing 150 miles an hour. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's more of under control. You're not hitting home runs in the cage or off the tee. It's a control pace. Control your effort. Remember, we're trying to have body control and have a swing that's repeatable and one that we can control. Because if you can't control your body, you're not going to control the barrel to be consistent making square contact.
All right. So when we show that first find your swing segment, would it be safe to say like maybe 50 to 65% effort?
Sure.
Right in there?
Yeah, you can build up. It's good to, to lower and increase your tempo a little bit, to kind of, change it up. But I think at the beginning, it's easy. Slow tempo is good at the beginning to find the swing. Understand how the swing's feeling. We talk about listening to your swing. Listen to how the ball comes off. Feel contact. Feel that extension through.
Yeah, good stuff. So repeatable line drives, just
Sure.
Nice, easy line drives.
Low line drives work.
Okay, so we come to the park, we get on a tee, we do middle approach, pull side, backside. Now, like the core three, like whether you have an hour to put in or whether you have 15 minutes to put in, what would the core three tee drills be?
Yeah, I like, there's 3 separate drills that I like that promote the body control, the direction, the control of the head, and the flight of the ball. And the first one I talk about is isolation. We have a narrow stance, and what we're trying to do is eliminate the lower half. Because a lot of times, the stride, especially when they're hitting off a tee, they want to hit it harder and further and more frequent. So what happens is the lower half takes over. And you use too much, so you're using the big muscles instead of allowing the hands to work. So what we do is we call it isolation. Isolate the lower half, it's not working, so the hands can work. Create a good path, and so now you can control the front shoulder. The upper body's doing a lot of the work. Look at the hands, find that path so you see nice, easy line drives going to middle approach.
Okay, we'll show that drill in a minute. So we'll be able to see what it looks like. But so they come in, how many swings?
4 or 5, just, you see, you get the feel of how the drill works. You get the feel of eliminating your lower half. Let the hands work and see the flight of the ball.
Okay, so it might look a little funny to some people, like, what the heck you doing?
Yeah.
You're not in a normal stance. We don't hit like that.
Sure.
But so you have to understand the purpose, which you've already explained.
Yeah, trying to put it in an unstable environment, trying to, put them off balance so when they do get into their normal stance, they feel really secure and strong.
That's awesome. I tell my players all the time, sometimes you have to learn to be comfortable in an uncomfortable position. It's kind of tricking the body into control.
Sure.
All right, so that's the first of the big 3. What's the second?
Second one is called the pitcher's drill. And the reason we call it pitcher's drill is because the front leg lifts up, makes the weight shift back, and you have to control the back side. We talked about earlier, controlling the back shoulder, back hip, and back knee. Being aware of that backside so that we create some separation. So when the front leg comes up, almost like a pitcher winding up, the hands go down just a little bit, and then when he strides, there's some separation. You create a path. You understand how the body's feeling. You understand where all the movements are going, and so you develop some body control by incorporating some movement, and then they also feel that nice separation to get into a strong position before they fire.
Yeah, I'm smiling because I love this drill.
Yeah.
and I get some crazy looks, but
Sure.
my players grow to love it. We do it at our elite hitting camps. Kids pick up on it quick. You know, we're not promoting a high leg kick,
No.
although some people have a high leg kick. But man, does it really get the body working.
It promotes body control and awareness of where your body's going. And then when you can control the body, then you can control the barrel, and then you can control contact much easier.
Right, so those are two.
Yes.
So there's three in the big three.
And then the next one is called 3-second drill. And that's where the front foot hovers just slightly over the ground. And we're controlling the body again, being aware of our lower half, aware of direction. And it's going to take about a count of 3 into the stride. So a count of slow 3, 1, 2, 3. As you get the separation, again, controlling the body, having good direction, so we understand where, the control and where our head's going.
Okay, so, a hitter comes to the park, they really got to get that done every day.
Sure.
That's going to promote growth and development as a hitter. Of course, there's other drills that we can do that really address more flaws. Probably you're struggling with a certain element of your swing, we throw this drill into the
Sure.
mix. But you always got your core big 3.
Sure.
Okay, so let's have those demonstrated now.
The reason the tee is so important is the ball's not moving. The player is in control. He's in control of his tempo, he's in control of his rhythm, and being able to repeat his swing. You don't have to worry about timing the ball up or worried about the ball moving. It's just worried about his basic mechanics. So there's a couple of things, I think all hitters need to work on every single day whenever they get a chance to work off a tee is, we call it middle approach, pull approach, and opposite field approach. So ball down the middle, obviously, we're going to work on hitting the ball right back where it came from, middle approach. So Tabor, get in your stance. As you can see, when Tabor gets set here, to me, some common mistakes when you're working off a tee is we get the tee too far behind us. And now it's really difficult to get the barrel out front. So a checkpoint that I use is whenever Tabor was to stride and stop, the tee should be equal with his front foot or slightly out in front, so it gives him some extension through the baseball. Because when we're talking about middle approach, we want things that work through the baseball, have good direction with the lower half. All right, relax. Next thing is we talk about pull approach. Obviously, that's the ball in the inner half. And when we set the tee up on the ball in the inner half, we want to make sure that when Tabor strides, the ball is about 3 to 4 inches outside or in front of his stride foot so that he can get the barrel head out and drive the ball to the pull side. And then next is opposite field. And this is a tricky one because it really promotes, make sure the hitter has a good control of his body, control of his head, and direction. And a lot of times people make mistakes because the ball in the outer half, they don't let it travel far enough. They want to still go out after the pitch on the outer half, which creates a rollover swing. So the ball in the outer half, get in your stance, Tabor. When he strides and stops, I'd like to see the ball in the outer half equal with his front foot or slightly to the inside part. A lot of hitting coaches talk about in the middle of the kneecap and the front foot, somewhere there so the ball has a chance to travel and you're able to stay on it. So let's just go up the middle first. So up the middle, he's thinking good direction, hit it right back where it came from. Good. To me, that was good energy. It was a good pace to the swing. You had really solid body control. And one thing that was really important that I saw is you kept your head on the ball. It was very quiet with the eyes, quiet with the head, and that's something we're looking for. Good. 1 or 2 more. Middle approach. Good. 1 more. Nice and easy, good rhythm, get back on time. Nice. Now he's going to go to pull approach. And now I'm going to move the tee just slightly out front. And we still have the same principles. We want to make sure we're good, have a good solid base, that our lower half does not escape early. You know, another mistake a lot of hitters make is that when the ball is on the inner half, they try to swing harder at it and try to hook it. We're still driving through the ball. Make sure that backside works through, head down, and drive through the baseball. Nice. Get back on time. Keep the nose behind the ball. Good. Good energy pace. Drive the backside through it, not spinning. Good. Now let's move the tee to the opposite side. Now we have our opposite field approach, and that's where we got to let the ball get a little bit deeper to us, like get into our hitting zone. A lot of common mistakes is hitters want to get out after the ball. They want to, release and jump at the ball with their lower half. You still got to maintain good body control, stay behind it, and drive through it. Good. Good. Staying down. Load back first. Stay on your legs. Good direction. Good. One thing he's doing really well is just really good tempo. He's controlling his effort level. His body control is not getting out of the way and lower half escaping out from underneath him. Let's try one more. Good. What Tabor just worked on was, he's worked on this middle approach, pull approach, and opposite field. And that's just moving the tee around, to find your swing, and something that we work on daily and, pretty much every time that, we have a chance to practice. And then next is I like to talk about the big three. We've talked about body control, direction, control in your head. And there's 3 drills that I really like that will promote that.
So the first of the big 3 is what?
It's called the isolation drill.
Okay. So let's.
And what we want to do here is, what we're going to set up is we're going to use a narrow stance, trying to, create some unbalance. We're going to take away the lower half and just isolate the upper body. So we're working on swing plane, we're working on body control and direction through the ball. So it's really important is we're not going to take a stride. We're just taking a narrow stance. We got a little life in the lower half, just a little rock, hands get back, and then we're able to swing the bat. So remember, a lot of times the lower half will take over the swing, and it causes a lot of problems. So we're trying to just eliminate it right now so that we can work on the hands and a path directly through the ball. So Tabor's going to demonstrate a couple of them for us. One thing is, one thing I really like what Tabor did is he was nice and relaxed going back, setting position, and then his tempo and effort levels under control. So trying to find that rhythm, pace, and direction. Good. Just there, let's make sure we stay through the baseball. Relax back and through. Good. And at first you're going to feel uncomfortable because you're not able to use the legs. So hitters that really use their stride for strength and they use their stride to generate a lot of effort, they're going to feel uncomfortable. So and that's okay. We're just trying to promote good solid base, direction, and just really working on the hand path and making sure the head stays on the ball.
So about 5 swings there, and we're ready for the second of the big 3, which
right.
is.
We're going to talk about, we call it a pitcher's drill. And the reason we call it the pitcher's drill is because it looks like a pitcher winding up. And what we're working on here is body control, some separation, and some direction to the ball. So Tabor's going to demonstrate. He's going to get in his stance.
It's middle approach, right?
Still staying middle approach. He's going to lift the front leg up. Again, weight goes back. He's having to control his body. Hands down just a little bit. And so as he strides, you're going to see the separation in his front foot and his hands. And making sure that the body is under control and not falling all over the place. So this is a really good drill to work on body awareness. All right, so try it again for me. Same stance. Remember, working middle approach. It's rhythm. Slow, you can see the hands working down, and then ready to go into a fire position. As you see, we're not promoting a big leg kick or whatever. We're just trying to get hitters to understand where their body's moving. It's when you can build a repeatable swing, you build some control of the body, that's when hitters are successful, because when they can control this,
Right.
then they can control the barrel getting to the ball.
Right.
All right, Tabor, we're going to demonstrate a couple of them. All right, here we go. Still, middle approach. Slowly back, and then through. Nice. Good body control, good control of the head. Good. As you can see, there's a little stumble there. You're not going to be perfect at these drills. That's something that, you're always working to improve. It's as he gets stronger, as he gets more mature, they're going to become a little bit easier. So at the beginning, if you fail and you're falling all over the place or whatever, that's okay. It's just working to improve. So you're not going to be perfect when you first start these drills.
And you can make an adjustment from swing to swing, even get better at it.
Good. One thing I like is you see how under control he is. You can see he's aware and of where his body's going, and then that's going to reflect having the consistency of the barrel to get to the ball. Because a lot of kids, when they first start this, they're all over the place, and a lot of times they run away from the ball. And so when you lose the body control, you're going to lose the barrel.
I love the pitcher's drills. So now we're 2 in of the 3 core.
Yeah.
The big 3. What's the third one?
And then the third one we call the 3-second drill. Normal stance, again, we're working middle approach. We're going to bring the feet closer together, and you're going to see this front foot is just hovering off the ground. It's just going to slide directly to the pitcher into a nice power position. Again, your tempo is consistent. We want to have a count of 3. That's the reason we call it the 3-second drill. And again, direction, body control, and awareness of where we're going in the batter's box. So, good. Nice pace there. Good. Really good control, really good direction. And another thing that he did really well, I like what, sitting here watching, is because his direction was straight and because he had, an online approach, it allowed the hands to have a path to the baseball. Because a lot of times hitters want to dive in, and when they dive in, then they have to swing around their body. Or they step away, and now the front shoulder and the front side is escaping and running away, which makes it difficult to get the ball through the big part of the field. So he did an awesome job of just driving straight through the ball.
So it makes perfect sense. So between the warm-up, they had 15 swings, 5, 5,
Sure.
5. Now they have 15 more, 5 each, and now they're ready to address maybe something else, or if everything's going good, they can go what, the front toss?
Then we go to front toss, and now we start getting the ball moving, because when the ball's on the tee, everything revolves around the body. He's in control of the bat. He's in control of the swing. Ball's stationary. Now we get the ball moving. Now we incorporate some pitch selection, some timing, and barrel awareness.
All right, so the question I have is, a young player, who's advanced for his age, has better than average body control, you think that they could handle these drills as well?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think so. And remember, you're working, each and every day or whatever to improve. You're not going to be perfect at all these swings. So if you stumble and there's some things that feel a little, you feel uncoordinated or awkward, the more times you do it, the more times you grow with it, you're going to feel, more under control, and you're going to get a little bit more efficient with it.
Okay, and if you're a coach or a parent of a player who's not ready yet, they don't have the body control or the balance to be able to implement, then they should go more to our, beginning phase
Sure.
practice plan.
Sure.
Which they can find on the DVD. So with the front toss, can you implement some of these same drills off of a feed if you wanted to?
Same drills, same control. It ups the tempo.
Right.
It makes it a little more difficult. But, as they get more familiar with it, they're going to feel more comfortable doing the drills.
And obviously the person feeding is a big part of it. They have to do a good job.
Sure. And they have to make sure that they swing at a strike.
Yeah.
It goes back to that core.
Right.
When they're doing the drills, if the ball is out of the strike zone, we're going to take those pitches. We're still looking for timing. We're looking for a ball that we can handle, and then, effectively use the drill. We're going to work right here. It's kind of show an example of just working through, a practice plan. We're going to start out with the middle, and we'll go pull approach. We'll go opposite field approach, and then we'll go to the big three and just kind of work our way through it. Okay, Tabor? Our philosophy here is just good rhythm, good pace, relaxed, controlled effort. Just nice and easy. All he's trying to do is it line drives right back up the middle. We're going to go 3-3-3. 3 to the middle. Good. Nice and easy. Body control. Not trying to swing too hard. Consistent with the barrel. Good. Next 3 is going to go pull. Ball slightly further out front. Not trying to swing harder. Still directly to it. Nice. Make sure he uses his legs, clears a path for his hands to work. Good. Nice. You're just going to move opposite field. Back the ball up just a little bit. Again, not trying to kill it. Just good direction, hitting to the baseball. Good. And as you can see, he's wanting to stride a little bit closer to the ball. That's a common mistake, a common, focus for hitters if they want to go out after it. So just making sure that when you put the ball in the outer half, that hitters stride the same way, they stride the same distance, and not trying to get closer to the white line or closer to the pitcher or closer to the plate, because what happens is the further you dive in, then that's when you have to swing around your body, and that causes, a cut action. So let's just make sure we stride straight. That's perfect. All right, let's go to the big 3. The first one we're going to do is isolation. Narrow stance. Again, isolating the upper body, lower half is not being used. Good. Nice. There's no stride here, just working on hands. Loose rhythm back through the baseball. Perfect. All right, now let's do the pitcher's drill. Again, we're not promoting a leg kick, knee lift, or anything like that. We're just promoting body control and a good separation so he understands where the body's at. All right, nice and easy, lift, weights back, good rhythm down, slow, drive 2. Good. As you can see, middle approach, just trying to hit through the baseball. Good. Good rhythm, tempo, not trying to get ahead of himself, not trying to rush out after the ball. Really good. All right, then now we're going to do 3-second drill. 3-second drill, again, narrow stance, front foot, slightly hover, slow pace. Good. Really good direction through the baseball. Nice. Doing a really good job of controlling the head, things to promote, see the baseball, through the baseball. That's a really good job. You got 4 or 5 with each drill. It's a good warm-up. From here, you can look, and if there's a couple other drills you want to incorporate after this, depends on your time that you have.
Now that we've covered the practice plan through tee work and added in some extra tee drills if there's time, obviously the next progression is front toss. And I love front toss, and I'm going to let you talk about it, but some keys that are very important to me are the feeder. That one, they're about 5 strides from the plate. That's a good safe distance. That the L screen is actually in a position where they can feed straight down the line to the plate. That increases odds for strikes.
Sure.
As opposed to having a hook around. Okay, a safety issue, make sure the knees are behind the net so that a ball doesn't hit the net and shatter your kneecaps, and that your hand is finishing behind the net. Don't leave it out there. Certainly don't want to leave your head out there peeking.
Sure.
But, you know, the feed, giving the hitter something at which to get timing. So instead of rapid fire, you're taking your time, drawing back, and then feeding forward to give the hitter that mechanism at which to time off of, such as like a delivery. But I'll let you talk, Tim, a little bit more about the importance of front toss and how it applies to our plan, our
Sure.
practice plan.
You know, the front toss to me is important because, you know, like Trent said, you don't want a rapid fire. You don't want to increase back and then move forward really quick. So it's slow back, and then we're going to give the toss. But, you know, still another thing we want to focus on is we're still working on, you know, our basic core principles. It's body control and direction, and the flight of the ball is important to us. And then now we're adding an element. You know, now we're adding some timing. The ball's moving. Now you've got to have some body timing, get the barrel there, and some direction. And then lastly is we're still swinging at strikes. And we want to have a game plan. So I just don't want hitters to do soft toss and just swinging at anything. So I like to make sure to narrow down our focus and make sure we're still working on something. So obviously let's work on middle approach first. And some keys I put 2 baseballs in the middle of the plate. So that's my middle approach. I'm looking for something over the heart of the plate. So when the pitcher throws it there, that's where my eyes are at. That's where I'm trying to focus. That's the pitch I want to hit. If the pitch is inside off the plate, I take it. If it's away, I want to take. If it's not a strike in that area where I'm looking for, then that's when I don't swing. So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. Right in the middle, line drive.
Good.
So explain what I did there, Tim, why I held up and what I'm looking for.
You know, he held up just to see where his body went, so he was getting back on time. And, you know, if he held up and, you know, the mechanics started to break down, then we know we've got a body control issue. So all I was doing was just trying to make sure he saw the ball in the proper position. You know, some of the swings here, you know, we had some rollovers. That's fine. That's okay. We're just trying to work through. That's where you're working on your body timing. Allow the ball to travel so we can hit through it. Okay, then the next thing is, you know, let's work to the middle. So we're working for inside approach. Now we're looking for something on the inside part of the plate. If it's away, we're going to take. Good, one more. Nice job. You know, and then the next phase, you know, we're working on this plan. The next one's going to be opposite field. Now we got a ball in the outer half, middle. So now my eyes are out over the plate. If he throws something on the inner half, I'm taking, because that's not what I'm working on right now. All right, see right there? I would have taken that pitch. Ball's above your hands. Poor pitch selection, right? That's okay, but this just gives you information that that's not what we want to swing at. Make sure we're focused and get the pitch out over the plate. Ball. Good. Nice and easy. Good. Relax. You know, once kind of go through that, you know, inside, middle, opposite field, now, you know, hit the ball where it's pitched. Now the pitcher, if he throws you a strike, let it go. Smoke it. Okay? If not, throws you a ball above your hands, down in the zone, and that's the ones we're going to take. We're still focusing on pitch selection. Good, one more. Good. You see kind of the last pitch down and away, you kind of had to manipulate the barrel to get it there. You know, that just gives you information in a game that's not probably the pitch that I want to swing at. Make sure I have discipline in the strike zone. And by doing this, it creates, you know, plate discipline. You're starting to understand pitches you can handle in the zone and pitches that, you know, you create a weaker swing. So you're figuring out some strengths and some weaknesses. So isolation drill, you know, we do the first one. Still going to have narrow stance. But what happens here is, you know, most hitters are going to want to go get the baseball because they go get it with their stride. And this promotes you got to let the ball travel to you. Get back, let the ball get to you, and we're trying to use middle approach.
Is it still like a 60% swing? Or
yes.
Okay.
Good, easy tempo rhythm. Good. Allow your legs to work. Good. Nice, easy rhythm. Load it back. Nice. And then the same thing. Now we're going to incorporate the pitcher's drill. Really, here, this one's really tough because you got to hang there for a second, right? He's reaching back. The pitcher's reaching back. Hands up. You got to have really good timing with your front foot. Get in a good position and not try to spin out of the swing. All right?
What helps my hitters with this is I use a 3 count. 1, 2, 3, and they're once they're up, they're like on the 3 count to come down, and it just helps time them up a little bit.
Sure.
Ready? Up, ready, 1, 2, 3.
Good.
Up, with that ball. Up, 1, 2, 3.
Good.
Up, go, 2,
See, I mean, you see, it's body control. I mean, it's just a difficult drill. Right. But it also, you understand where the body's at all times.
Up, go, 2, 3.
Good. And then the last one, we're going to do the 3-second drill. Still, another timing drill, body awareness. And this is the big key, making sure we control the backside, which is really difficult when we start the game action. We're going to kind of go get it, you know, go get the baseball instead of staying within our framework.
Stand, go, 2, 3.
Good.
Stand, go, 2, 3. Go, 2, 3.
Nice. You know, and like I said, these couple of drills here, I mean, you know, just a couple of swings to incorporate some control, incorporate some consistency, and find your tempo throughout the swing.
All right, so after we've done our practice plan with T-work, Tim, and then we go to front toss, which, by the way, we can do from a standing position, could we not?
Sure.
I mean, I sometimes will stand back and walk through and feed front toss. Just, again, making sure you're staying behind the L screen. So, if we have time with front toss, is there anything else a little bit more advanced that we might could implement to the guy that wants to work on a little more front toss?
I think we do cross angle toss, which really is advanced and makes it difficult to stay on the baseball. And all we're doing is moving the tee over so the ball's kind of running away from us.
Moving the L screen over?
Yes.
So how far over?
Moving it over?
So go to the side of the hitter. He's lefty. We're going to
yep,
the side.
going to his backside.
All right.
You know, it's almost, if you draw a line from the middle of the plate, we're going almost at a 45-degree angle.
So is this almost at the gap?
Yeah, it's almost at second base.
Okay.
We're almost working right here at second base.
All right, so for a player that wants a little extra challenge to put himself in an uncomfortable position and see if he can react, we have off-angled BP. And basically we take the L screen to the side of the hitter. We have a left-handed hitter. We're moving it over to the second base side, basically feeding off where the second baseman would be, somewhere there.
Somewhere there.
Okay, so what's the purpose of this?
The purpose of this is the ball is running away from the hitter. So if the hitter's first move is to leak and not be able to control their front side, and not have direction to the ball, then it's going to make it difficult for them to get the ball up the middle. So it's creating a good path through the baseball. And you can do all three, any kind of drill from this position. It's just making it tough because the ball's running away from you.
Is there an element of safety doing this with a hitter who likes to hook a ball? Because I could see if Tabor was a guy that liked to roll over and pull balls, that might be
You just got to make sure you're
behind that.
really behind.
So please make sure you stay behind the L string with this one, just from a safety standpoint. Am I feeding middle or trying to feed away?
Middle of the plate. Middle away. Still swinging in strikes. Good. Loading back, driving through. One more. There you go. As you can see, the ball's running away. It makes it difficult because they've got to stay here and stay through the baseball and not try to run away from it. All right, let's go through a couple of the big three drills. Let's do the isolation first.
Still middle approach.
Good. Load it back. Good. From this position here, the cross angle, you can do the pitcher's drill also.
Up, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3. Probably take that one, right?
Yeah.
There you go. It's okay. Up, 2, 3.
Good. So it's tough. I mean, to me, this is like should be the core of all hitters. I mean, I hate just doing the front toss all the time because what you're seeing right here is the battle, right? You're having a hard time getting the barrel there on time and being able to square it up there because when that ball runs, because there's never a ball that's going to come right over the heart, start in the middle and stay in the middle. Where do balls come from? They start here. Nobody starts in the middle of the rubber. Huh? And so that's the reason this to me is so important. So it's difficult to stay there. But it's really to me is what is real life. Okay? So Tabor, you can, from this now we can do the 3-second drill. And really concentrating as the ball runs away from you that we stay on it and stay true and not trying to spin and come off of it.
Ready, go. 2, 3. Ready, go.
Good. Really good. Nice and easy. Glide. Nice. It's just body control. As you do more of these, you're going to get better at it. It's not one that you can just do one time and you've got it mastered. That's the reason that we incorporate these 3 drills to always trying to master body control and direction to the ball.
So, as a parent or a coach, when they come to the field with their son or daughter to get work in, they have to assess how much time they have, and they want to get the tee work in. They got to buy into the tee work, and then front toss. And ultimately, if they're having success at both of those, would you say it's time to start implementing some BP? Like, when I do lessons, I don't usually get back to throwing BP for a couple weeks because I want to see them have command of the body here, and then I start going back because failure rates increase as soon as I start throwing over the top. But once they have body control here and here, I feel like the success rate starts to go up. So
Sure.
Is that a good plan?
That's a really good plan. You're building the foundation here, and you're taking it one step at a time. And then if it's a good foundation here, it'll show up in the game.
Right. Awesome. So Tim, we just finished up now with front toss, and well, we started with the tee with our practice plan. We implemented our core 3, then we added some extra drills. Tabor wanted to work on a few things there. And due to our time, we backed up the front toss, which we did from a seated position. I can also do it from a standing walk-through position,
Sure,
as long as I stay behind the L strip. If we didn't have much time, the next progression would be BP.
Go back to coach batting practice.
Coach batting practice, either inside or on the field.
Sure.
If we have time, maybe both.
And we're still maintaining pitch selection. We're still maintaining strike zone discipline.
Right.
You know, we're not trying to keyhole the coach that's throwing batting practice. But again, you know, if pitch is way out of the strike zone, hey, we're going to let it lay off those pitches. We don't want to develop the habits of just swing at everything. There is a plan for what I'm trying to do.
So Tim, we've gone through our practice plan. Now we have a hitter that maybe wants to add a few more drills. I mean, there's a lot of really good drills.
Sure.
Many of them promote certain elements of the swing, doing things the right way. So what's some of the other really good drills that you like for hitters?
You know, there's a common one, the high tee drill. It is where he works on a good pass straight to the ball. You know, I think misconception is, you know, guys who want to chop at the baseball. You know, we're not promoting chop behind it. We're just promoting straight to it. Because there's some hitters that, you know, Tabor, if you'll get in your stance, there's some hitters that their first movement is to fall back or to drop, create length to the swing, and now they're really working uphill and battling to get to contact, kind of scooping the ball. So we want to make sure that we have a little bit more strength with the top hand, so get it back up. And all we're going to do is elevate the tee. And I just like to elevate, you know, slightly above the belly button so that the hitter it's forcing the hitter to go straight to it and through it before they cut around and not chopping.
You know, the thing I see with the high tee, you know, a lot of high school hitters and under have trouble catching up with superior velocity at the
Sure.
top of the strike zone.
Sure.
They either foul it back, swing and miss, but guys that do high tee tend to be shorter to that ball and have the tendency to barrel it up more.
Sure. You know, there's a couple of things. I mean, get back in your stance, Tabor. It's guys that, you know, when they face some bigger velocity in the ball up, they want to start to use the body more and increase their effort. You know, when they increase their effort, guess what? That's going to drop, create some length. But if you're short, control, let your hands work, straight to the ball, you got a chance.
Okay.
I demonstrate a couple of them, Tabor. Just straight to it. Good. Good. Nice job. See, the body control went straight to it. I didn't see a chop down and cut the ball. I saw a direct path to it and through it.
And they get great feedback when hitters do this, that scoop or lazy with their barrel. They're raking the tee, missing the ball, popping it straight up, and it's like ding, ding, ding. The light bulb starts to go off that, hey, maybe this is a drill I need to add more often. Maybe.
Sure. Get back up and show you one more thing. Let me see the bat. You know, if you take the bat out of their hand and hold your top hand straight up and down, put this hand on your chest, and you'll see to promote, when you were coming through the baseball, you see where we're going, staying to the inside, and we're working through it here. Not getting where we're cutting, and now we're chopping and cutting around. That's where a lot of guys make mistakes on this drill, is they want to get to it and cut it, and then they just hit a ground ball.
Okay, awesome. What's another really good drill that a hitter can add on after their practice plan is complete? You know, one that I've always liked is the walkthrough drills.
Sure. It builds rhythm, it builds some separation and some direction. All right, so Tabor, let's start back. What you want to do is start back further in the batter's box. What I like to do is start with the bat on the shoulder. We're facing the tee. We're going to move with the back foot first, and the back foot's really just going back into the original back foot position. So he's going to take his left foot, he's going to step into his original spot. Now the front foot, there's where he gets his separation, and now we can get some control and direction straight to the ball. So we'll lower the tee back. Again, middle approach, and all we're trying to do is create some rhythm and a good pace. So step forward. Good. You know, some common mistakes here is hitters will, when they step forward, they step to the plate, and they just keep going and they step. Now they've cut themselves off. We want to make sure that we have good direction. So step back up. Not to get so far in the back part of the batter's box. We want to stay closer in line so that we get that square shoulder going straight to it. So when you step, let's step forward. You see now he's back into place and he's got good direction going.
I'll tell you something that really works well when I'm working with young hitters, learning this, guys that I feel like can handle it, is I put them in their normal stance to a middle approach.
Sure.
And I put something at the top of their toe, like a little rock or anything I can find, sunflower seed, on each foot. So when they step back into this position and it's time to step in, they kind of have a gauge as to where
Sure.
that back foot's got to go. And they can see after the drill's done how close are they back to their normal stance.
That's a great point.
I mean, just a little cue to
Sure.
give them some orientation to the tee, you know.
All right, try one more, Tabor. Nice.
I know, and I teach it all the time, and when I explain it, it makes perfect sense, and people really like it. But when they first see it, they're like, and I know I was the same way. First time you showed it to me, I was like, what in the world, you know? But I think it really serves a legitimate purpose to help hitters stay on and control their front side. You know, there's no way if you're leaking off with your front side that you can consistently repeat your swing, I feel like.
Sure.
How about what's your opinion on the reverse top hand?
Yeah, I think it gives you good extension through the ball, and it helps you, understand where the barrel is at, and the barrel is staying there on the ball and through the ball, and not cutting it off.
Right. So Tim, tell us how you do. What are the keys to the reverse?
So when you talk to reverse top hand, you're just going to take the top hand and we're just going to turn it upside down. I like to get all 5 fingers on the same side. We've got to relax this elbow and relax your wrist. You're not going to be able to grip the bat the same, strength. So get back in your stance, okay? And we're going to choke up just a little bit so we have more control of the barrel. All right? It's nice and easy, relax. Get this elbow down just a little bit and move the wrist down. So what the principle here is, so whenever the hitter comes to the contact point and they're driving, as you can see, we're getting back into that slot. And if we were to open our fingers up, you see that there's where we're behind the baseball. And so we're promoting the barrel to work through the ball as we let go, through the ball, and then around. It's almost like, you're cheating with a one-arm drill. Is really all this drill is about. So get back up in your stance. Turn the hand upside down. Loose grip. All right, back in the same position. Load it back. We're coming forward as we swing. Once we make contact, we're driving through. We're going to let go with one hand. Bottom hand's going to follow through. And the key point is just to make sure this hand is pointing to opposite field. As a left-handed hitter, it's going to point to shortstop. What we don't want to see is this hand cut. And that tells me the swing's cutting.
And if you're okay with it, tell me. The belly button and the front of the back knee I call body eyes. And I really, when I have my young hitters do this drill, not only do I want the top hand finished, but when they freeze, I really want the front of the back knee, belly button, just to promote really staying on and through to that shortstop. Sure. As a left-handed hitter.
That's a good point. You're just promoting a good action and helping them feel that staying through the baseball. Right. Obviously, we're not pushing through the zone or whatever, but we're getting them to understand the backside to work through the ball. I find after 1 or 2 lessons, the hitters really kind of pick up on this. Sure. But just nice and easy.
It feels funny when you first do it, though.
Good. Nice and easy. Perfect position. Nice. As you can tell, flight of the ball, he got through the baseball. You see the finish right there, nice and through, and then finish
So if he
something.
leaked or cut, we'd be getting ground balls.
If he
over
cut
that
this way, we'd probably be getting ground balls to the pull side.
Right. So that's why I love that drill.